John Adams, the voice of conscience behind American independence. He wasn't the flashiest speaker. He wasn't the most celebrated name in history, but John Adams was the moral backbone of the American Revolution. A man who used his voice, his pen, and his principles to help birth a new nation. He defended justice when it was unpopular. He stood for independence when it was dangerous. He valued truth over comfort and principle over popularity. If you're a young person today wondering how to lead with conviction in a world full of compromise, John Adams shows you how to rise with courage and stand with honor. Who was John Adams? Born in 1735 in Massachusetts, Adams was a Harvard-educated lawyer with a fierce intellect and a love for liberty. Before the Revolution, he wasn't chasing fame or power. He was defending justice. In fact, one of his first great acts of courage came when he defended British soldiers after the Boston Massacre, because he believed in the rule of law even when it was unpopular. He later became one of the first voices in Congress to call for independence from Britain, even before most of his peers were ready to go that far. He helped write the Declaration of Independence, served as a diplomat in Europe, and became America's first vice president and eventually the second president of the United States. He lived through war, political chaos, and personal attacks, but through it all, he never stopped fighting for what was right. What can you learn from John Adams? John Adams wasn't perfect. No great leader is, but he was principled, thoughtful, and fiercely loyal to truth. He believed that leadership starts with character, not charisma. Here's what his legacy can teach you. 1. Stand for what's right, even when you stand alone. Adams didn't wait for the crowd. He said what needed to be said, even when others weren't ready to hear it. He once said, "Always stand on principle, even if you stand alone." That's what real leaders do. Today's world needs more voices of courage, more people willing to speak up against injustice, corruption, or apathy. You may not be the loudest, but you can be the clearest. Don't be afraid to be the first one to say, "That isn't right." 2. Character is more important than popularity. Adams didn't win many popularity contests. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't always easy to like, but he was deeply committed to truth and integrity. He said, "Because power corrupts, society's demands for moral authority and character increase as the importance of the position increases. The higher you rise, the more the world needs you to stay grounded. Build your character now. Tell the truth. Keep your word. Live with discipline." That's the foundation of great leadership. 3. Lead with your mind and your conscience. Adams was a thinker. He read constantly, wrote thoughtfully, and believed that ideas, not weapons, were the most powerful tools of revolution. He helped design governments, draft treaties, and debate the principles that would define America. He said, "Liberty cannot be preserved without a general knowledge among the people." Never stop learning. Study history. Think clearly. Let your conscience and your mind work together to shape your choices. When emotions rise, wisdom leads. 4. Serve the future, not just yourself. Adams didn't fight for his own legacy. He fought for posterity, for the generations to come. He once wrote, "I must study politics and war so that my sons may have the liberty to study mathematics and philosophy." He knew leadership was about sacrifice, about doing hard things now so others can thrive later. That's how you leave a legacy. What are you building that others will benefit from? What truth are you defending for the next generation? Live now in a way that blesses the future. Why this matters today. In a culture that celebrates ease, compromise, and self-promotion, John Adams reminds us that real greatness is found in doing what's right, even when it costs you. He didn't fight for applause. He didn't lead with ego. He stood firm, spoke truth, and helped build a free nation, not with popularity, but with principle. So if you want to be someone worth remembering, don't just chase what's easy or trendy. Build your mind. Guard your character. Stand on truth. Be like Adams.